Hey, this your boy Cross, the Christian Cyclist, and I got another breakdown of a lesson learned for you today. So we are riding with a group out of Naperville Bike Club. It's a combination of different riders. I know there's some Wolfpack guys in here, and I'm not sure if everyone is part of Wolfpack, but it's a very fast group, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I enjoy it. It's 23 miles. So let's get into it. Here we're headed northbound and we're in an echelon formation. This is where I have my misread. In an echelon formation, depending on the crosswind, you'll stagger the bike in front of you, kind of fanning out left or right. Now, at the point of attack of the echelon, how it normally works is the echelon point man will just fade backwards and rotate in this sort of like offset clockwise, depending on if the echelon is going left or if the echelon is going right. The point man fades back, the echelon moves forward. That's the proper, and that's exactly what they have done here. Where the confusion came in for me and the lesson learned is that, you know, when you're riding with a new group, you have to be able to read them and know when they're going into certain formations. Because we were in a crosswind on that last section, now we got a tailwind and we're headed westbound. But because we were in a crosswind and we were in an echelon, I assumed when we get up to this next section, if you look at the site map, you'll see that there's another section up ahead where we're going to turn right again and we're going to form, we should be forming an echelon again. And that's what I thought we were doing. But that's not exactly what happened. So here, and it was a misread on my part, okay? Because I'm used to, if we're in a normal formation, like here, we're in a pace line. The way to pass on a pace line is the lead out is he would fan to his left and the train would move through on the right. If you're in an echelon, it's just the opposite of that, right? The lead out will drift backwards and the train will pass him in the direction of the echelon. So if the echelon is fan left, they would pass on the left. If it's fan right, they would pass on the right. But because here we wasn't, we kind of changed up the formation a couple times, and we changed up the formation correctly based off the wind direction. So here we have a tailwind. You wouldn't be in an echelon in a tailwind, right? You basically in a pace line, and that's all good. And as I said before, this is a fast group. They ride together twice a week, so these guys all know each other. I only come out on Tuesdays and I really just started riding with him. But here's where I get confused. So you see they're in a pace line, but they passed on the right on his left when they should have passed him on his right. So now that kind of confuses me because I'm thinking, I'm not sure. I'm trying to read the group. In reality, he would have, the lead guy would have fanned out to the left and the train would have came through on the right in a normal pace line. But in the echelon formation, that would have been correct. He would have drifted back and then they would have passed him on the left. But that it's no problem because these guys know each other, so they kind of know what they're doing. They can read each other's body language. But when you're new, you got to try to read everything. So here we're about to turn into the headwind, and I'm already trying to calculate because at this point, normally on this ride, I'm already popped. Okay, these group is really fast, and I normally can't stay with them at this point on the ride. But here we're going to make another right-hand turn, and my mindset is they're going to go into an echelon again. So here the lead out guy is letting everybody know we finna turn. The train is moving over to the left so that we can make this turn. There's some gravel. You're going to hear guys call out gravel. And then I'm following the bike in front of me. All right. This is an experienced rider. There was nothing done wrong. The only thing that was done wrong on this particular situation is my read. So here we get to round. My thought is we're finna go into an echelon because we're at a crosswind. So you can see they digging in. I don't want to get dropped. The guys behind me look like they're going to get dropped. Now this looks like an echelon, but it's not. Soon as I get on his wheel to form the echelon, he takes off. You see what happens here? So now I'm chasing his wheel, but then he pulls up. When he pulls up, it throws me out front because I'm kind of out on the wing by myself. Here's where I make my mistake, guys. Instead of pulling up like the guy in the bike in front of me did and getting into a pace line formation, I surged because I didn't know exactly what to do being on the outside. So what did I do? I jumped out front, surged, and I wound up burning way too many matches trying to get this, trying to figure out, should I be out front? And here you'll see he's coming up on my left when I'm thinking they're in the pace line, which means he's coming up on my right, and I'm tired, so I want to give it up. What do? I go left to let the train go by me on my right, but he was on my left, and that's how you have a misread. Here they're passing me up, but they're passing me on both sides. So at this point, I'm just gonna stay center and let all the bikes go by me, because I don't know if they want to go by me on the left, they want to go by me on the right. And I figured I would regroup at the end and figure out what formation they in, but at that point it was too late. My legs had popped. I was out of sync, and mentally I was out of sync because I almost caused an accident. So that kind of threw my focus off, which then made me pay attention to my body being off, and I realized I didn't have the energy that I needed. And the lesson learned in this is the read, right? When you're riding with new groups, it's important that you spend time just reading the body language of the cyclist in front of you and see how they ride. There's no, you can say what's right and what's wrong. At the end of the day, it's what works for that group. I ride differently. The group I ride with ride differently than this group, and at least how they pass in certain situations, I just didn't read it right. So the lesson learned is, hey, get the right read so you, one, keep everyone safe. And the second lesson in that is, don't surge and don't go hard in a group that you barely can hold on to. Otherwise, you wind up getting popped. This your boy Cross. I'll talk to you later.